Hey, check it out. We are in here in the 58,000 gallon monster pond. I'm here to bring you guys a full update, stock included. So you know you have your favorite host here. Sorry, Dad.
And go.
Let me do this. I ain't got the Arapaima neck, but these chicken breasts will help.
Are you done yet?
You around if you don't stop it.
All right, so you guys seen that big old splash. Well, that was from our big boy Brutus. He did that big initial pop, eating some pellets, and then this big old alligator gar went ahead and slapped their tail, and that was all that commotion you guys just seen. When you think about, you know, big fish, they can move lots of water. So you've got 6-foot Arapaima. He makes the smallest of movements, and he can make a very, very large noise. All right, so looking at this pond, you have a lot going on here. You've got a lot of monster fish. You've got a lot of itty-bitty small fish in here. Off, you know, first glance, everyone thinks, well, why doesn't the big fish eat the small fish? Well, you know, the simple fact of the story, this is a ecosystem pond, so nature will always find a way. Of course, these African cichlids breed faster than they can get picked off. But also, point number two, if you feed the big guys, they're not going to exert the energy to go ahead and chase after these crumbs when you're looking at something like this beast right here, a 6-foot Arapaima gigas. Look at him. Like, he just keeps going and going like the Energizer Bunny. You guys can see that awesome pink coloration coming out on his tail. It's reaching, you know, halfway up his body. This is our boy Brutus. And that right there, oh, no, not that one. This one is about a 50-pound catfish. We had one die, you know, a little while back, and when we weighed him, he was about 50 pounds. And he was 46 to be exact, over 40 inches long. This guy is now a tad bit bigger, so I'm guessing him at about 50 pounds. And then you just seen him next to Brutus, and he wasn't even nowhere near the size. So I'm putting Brutus at, you know, somewhere around 80, possibly 100-pound fish. Now, you talk about 100-pound fish, that much force and power can definitely do some damage. You guys remember the show River Monsters, and our boy Jeremy Wade on that show got hit by, you know, a decent-sized Arapaima, maybe about the same size as him, maybe a little bit bigger. It's kind of hard to tell because it was on camera, but he made Jeremy Wade wear a pacemaker. So these beasts are definitely nothing to mess with. Should not be kept by everyone in the hobby. You know, you see a lot of people with Arapaimas in their 300-gallon, and that should just not be. Like right now, we have 6 Arapaimas, although one of those we bought for Brian Barczyk's new aquarium, so that is an exception, but nonetheless, the other ones were all rescues. This guy right here, he's about 3 foot long, maybe a little bit longer, but this is Bruiser. When we initially put Bruiser in this pond, Brutus was tearing after him, and we had to put up a pond divider, and then after a couple days, they decided to play nice, and now they are the best of buds. You can see the 2 Arapaimas are just sitting here waiting for food. Let me see if I can get the small guy to pop for you guys like I just did the big guy. You want some, bud? You want some? You ready? You ready? You gonna do it? He's not on it quite as much as Brutus is, but he will take the food. Here we go. We've got silver arowana. These are like big water dragons. They come from the Amazon. Absolutely a majestic fish. One of my favorites, and this guy is super old, super fat, super big. He's probably about 38 inches long and, you know, 10 inches tall, probably about 4 inches thick. He is just a big old beast. You don't really get to see his size until I bring the camera close to him, and you guys can, you know, see how long he takes to go by the camera. Up here, you're like, oh, well, that's kind of a small fish, but what you don't realize, 25 foot right there. That's a 6 foot fish. So definitely a little bit of a trick on the eyes when it comes to size in this pond. So we have some more rare fish in here. We have some more common fish like the redtail catfish and the tiger shovel nose right there. There are a few of them. That catfish I showed earlier was a redtail tiger shovel nose hybrid. And right there we have a shovel nose marble cat hybrid. So we have a little bit of everything. We have a few species of tiger shovel nose in here. We have reticulatum. We have the tigrinum. What else? We've got alligator gar. And of course we've got the albino marbled alligator gar there. Absolute stunning specimen. We've got the platinum gar. We've got two of the platinum gar in here, only one of the albino. What else do we have? I'm not going to name off all of the African cichlids because there's just too many. There goes a 2 foot tilapia cichlid down there. What else? Here goes a marbled tilapia right there. One of my favorite cichlids in this pond is that guy right there, that blue and purple and red peacock cichlid. I don't know if you guys caught it on camera. Maybe I was too slow, but that thing is freaking awesome. We have Oxydorus niger cats, ripsaw, Tarashuki cats, all the same thing. We have iridescent sharks in here. There's a couple of them, 1, 2. And then the big cousin to the iridescent shark would be the paroon sharks. We have 3 of them in here, and they are over 3 foot long. These guys are true predators. You can see them, you know, swimming around over there. They have that big high fin. They look like sharks gliding through the water, and they are all mouth on the front, and these things open up kind of like a bass does. Just extremely impressive. That they are fast as can be. So these are probably the most predatory fish that we have in this pond. When we had that not iridescent paroon shark in the 4400, he was, you know, just pushing about 2 foot long, and he ate a 18-inch leporanus fish, which is absolutely insane because leporanus are, you know, extremely fast. So I would have never thought that a paroon shark would be able to catch a leporanus. Well, he did, and we learned from that mistake, and that's when the paroon sharks got brought out to the monster pond. They've been out here ever since. Right down there, we've got a Disticatus sexifasciatus. What else do we have? Where's my boy? I'm trying to find him. Up right there. Here goes an Indian shovel nose. These are a little bit more rare in the hobby, also known as a Spirata aor. They are a true Indian shovel nose. These guys, you know, are known for killing themselves in tanks because they hit the side so hard, or they try and dive under rocks. So you really have to be careful what you put these fish in with, or else they could meet their demise. But we have one over 3 foot, and we've got one at about 2 foot that's growing out. Absolutely stunning catfish. I know I can't say that word enough because I'm just so fascinated by a lot of these fish. You know, it's hard to come up with words for them sometimes. Right over there, we got our boy Gus. That is an albino giant gourami. He's been in here for quite some time. He's, you know, one that's kind of looked past in here because everyone's going, ooh, look at that. Ooh, the Arapaima, the platinum gar, the albino gar. But, you know, there's a lot of fish that are looked past in here. One more that I'm seeing right here is the Probarbus lebe major. It is a type of Asian carp. Normally people put them in their ponds. This one was grown out in tropical water. It is a beautiful fish. And, you know, it's just in the barb family. They're cool to look at. They've got lines on the side and big, bright red eyes. I don't know if you guys can see it in the camera, but I can, staring at the water. But last but not least, I talked to you guys about the big gar that slapped the water. That is our short body alligator gar. It's got the head of a 6-footer, but it's a short body, so it's about 4.5 feet long right now. So before we get off here, I want to talk a little bit about the plans for this pond. So you guys remember Greg Whitstock, the pond guy, and his team Aquascape came in here and basically redid this entire pond. It was a swimming pool, 12 foot deep on that end, 3.5 over here. And he came in within 2 days, converted this into a full recreation pond. And at the time, it was just built for monster fish and monster fish only. So it served its purpose now for a long time. But we didn't actually plan on the African cichlids going into this pond. That was something that happened by accident, and now it just looks too cool. So at the time, we just needed spots for monster fish. So Greg did up the sides and the pump vault and basically filled the back sides with rocks. Now, some of you new members might be wondering, well, how the African cichlids get in this pond? Well, let me tell you, I always told you nature will find its way. This tank right here was our African cichlid tank, and we have a pump pumping up, and then we had, overflow flowing back to the pond. Well, the cichlids would breed in here, and sometimes the fry would get sucked over the overflow and land in this pond. Fast forward a year and a half later, and this is what you get. You give them the places to hide, the colony will absolutely explode. And, they're cross-breeding. You've got colors all over the spectrum. You've got oranges, pinks, red, blues. You've got purples. And there's just a wide variety in here of cichlids. So when Greg came back this previous time, he's seen the pond, seen the colony of cichlids absolutely explode. He came up with the idea of let's give them places to hide. Because coming in here and snorkeling is actually one of the coolest things you can do. Everywhere you look, you find something else. So what he's wanting to do is drain this pond back down. Of course, we can't drain it all the way, but we can drain it to where there's about 2 foot in this side, and the fish still have somewhere to be, and then we can work on the wall. So what we're going to do, we have the universal rock, just like them side walls, to finish off this back wall and finish off that front wall. So while the pool is drained, we'll go ahead and do that. But we're also going to dismantle this whole rock formation back here, take all the gravel out behind it, and basically just leave caverns and caves for all the African cichlids to get in behind the rock and make life that much more enjoyable, and the snorkeling experience for anyone who gets in here. Also at the same time, he wants to go ahead and redo the lighting and put his new color changing lights in here. So that will definitely be cool. We went ahead and gave this coral formation to Brian, so when he has his new aquarium set up, he can go ahead and have that coral piece, and then we'll just be left with driftwood and rocks in the monster pond here. So I think that's about it for the plans with the monster pond. Of course, we're always going to have new fish that come in. God forbid, sometimes one of our old guys die. It does happen. It's like that Niger cat right there. When we put him in here, he was the biggest Niger cat I've ever seen, and he measured just over 50 inches long. That is absolutely amazing. So, by the time he passes, I'll wonder where he will be, because it's tough to see a Niger cat over 4 foot long. But, when you got a pond of this size and this caliber, the size of fish really depend on how long you're willing to do this, because they will keep on eating, they will keep on growing. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and we will catch you in the next one. Stay fishy, my friends.